Some of you would know that I have been streaming lately, and during that time someone asked me how the Playins would go or something like that. In this video I would explain it as much as I can because it is something that is really new to all of us. I think I have not seen a lot of discussions about it, but just to give a quick preview, I think that the Playins would be an exciting addition to Stage 2 because not only are you letting Tier 2 teams play in the VCT, but we also have the chance to see some of the greatest upsets of all time in VCT history. So this would be really an exciting thing to watch. There's just a lot of scenarios there. For example, Sentinels could fight it out against M80. It's gonna be one hell of a grudge match between Kaplan and Sentinels, and if that does not happen, maybe I'll riot, bro. And besides that, there's a lot more crazy things that could happen. But anyway, let's move on and see how this video explains it first.
Get reshuffled, and at the end of the round robin, the top 4 teams head straight into playoffs. The bottom 8, they face a new obstacle, the Playin tournament, where they'll clash with the top 4 challenger teams from their territory. It's cutthroat. 12 teams compete, but only 4 will survive. They'll join the top 4 teams that have been waiting for them in Stage 2 playoffs, where champions qualification is on the line. The top 2 teams at playoffs punch their tickets to champions. The final 2 spots go to the teams with the most championship points, recognizing the teams who showed consistency all year long.
Okay, so for me, the easiest way to describe how Stage 2 will pan out is basically the group stages is Earth, it's the ground, whatever. And then whoever the best teams in each group is will go up to Heaven, which is the playoffs. So they immediately go here. You will see the second seeds here and then the first seeds waiting on the wings. So this is pretty much Heaven. So then going back to Earth, so for the teams that does not qualify to the playoffs immediately, they would go down to Hell, which is the Play-in. So basically the Play-ins, I would describe it as Hell. And there are 4 levels to it. This is 1, 2, 3, and 4. As you can see, there are the 5 and 6 seeds here, 3 to 4 seeds of the Tier 1 teams, and then the challengers teams here. Okay, so this is the first level of Hell, second, third, and 4th. So whoever loses here, both of this, will go down to the 3rd and 4th level of Hell. They will all have to fight it out, so whoever wins out in each level, 1, 2, 3, 4, would be able to be redeemed and eventually get to Heaven, which is the playoffs. And you can see it here, Playin 1 to 2. I think that's the easiest way to describe it. What do you think? It's really confusing if you're not paying attention to it. But basically, again, this is the Earth that we live in. This is Heaven, the playoffs, and this is Hell because there's gonna be a lot of matches here, so really it's Hell. Anyway, if that's still confusing for you, then let's just actually simulate what would happen. And so for all of this to work out, we need to start at the Play-ins because it's kind of confusing to do. I've tried it several times and this is the only way that it could be simulated, the easiest way. So these guys are going to be the ones battling it out in the Play-ins. And then for the challengers teams, we now have 3 confirmed, which are Sharper Esports. Then we have the Japanese team, JP1, let's put it like that. Then Onside Gaming, then Sipto Esports. So for this match one, I'm going a bit freaky in here, and let's say that SE wins. And then for the second match, Nongshim versus JP1, I'll say Nongshim wins. This one, RQ is on a slump right now, so I'll say OG wins because they're hungry to win. Again, RQ is on a bad slump right now. It's up for them to figure things out. Now, KRX versus XE, the triple duelist is still going on. So XE already knows about that and XE wins. So the ones going down, so now Zeta and SE, Sharper Esports win here. They move on here, while Zeta goes here. Team Secret versus Nongshim. Okay, so for match 6 then, who is winning this? It's gonna be Nongshim. Team Secret goes down to here. Then match 7, PaperX and OG. PaperX wins. OG goes down to here. Full Sense versus XE. I would say Full Sense wins here. XE goes down to match 8. So now let's move on to the next round. Sharper Esports versus Nongshim. I would say Nongshim should win this. So Nongshim advances. Then PaperX versus Full Sense. Let's have some drama here and have it that Full Sense wins. wins this one. So with that said, SE goes down to loser match 13 and match 14. Paper X goes down here. So they're waiting. I should have actually gone with this first, but whatever. With this, DFM versus XE. For this one, DFM wins. XE is out. And then for match 10, let's say JP1 versus OGO, both challengers teams. Onside Gaming wins here. RRQ, then Team Secret. Let's say a miracle happens and Team Secret wins here. And then for the last one, KRX versus Zeta. Zeta just pulled off a upset earlier, so can they do it again? Let's go with the upset. These guys are waiting for their final matches, and so DFM versus OG. Let's say OG wins here. Oh, this is both challengers teams. And then Team Secret and Zeta. Wow, this is so free, bro. For PRX. So let's say Team Secret wins. Well, anyway, so now we're down to the last 2 slots. So this is Sharper Esports versus Onside Gaming. Sharper Esports wins, and then Paper X wins. So now we have our 4 teams, and then we can go up to the playoffs. Okay, so now that we have it mapped out, let's see. Match 1, T1 versus Nongshim. I would say Nongshim. And then Genji versus Full Sense. I will say Full Sense. What happens to T1? They go down here. What happens to Genji? Goes down here. Sharper versus T1. Let's say it's end of the road for Sharper now. T1 wins. And then Paper X versus Genji. Of course, we say Paper X wins. And then for this one, this is interesting. Let's say GE wins. For the hype, and then Full Sense wins as well. This is gonna be one hell of a rematch. But then Nongshim falls down to here. Oh, that's a tough shit. And then match 4 loser goes down here, which is Varel. This is one hell of a rematch, but then Full Sense gets revenge and wins, so they advance to the grand final. GE goes here. We still have this T1 versus Varel. Varel just beat T1, so T1 gets revenge here and wins again. And then PRX versus Nongshim. Let's say Nongshim wins and PRX is out, but it doesn't really matter. So it's T1 versus Nongshim. Earlier Nongshim beat T1, but now T1 wins here. It's T1 versus GE. What will happen here is that points wise, I think T1 is safe and GE is not. So this is make or break for GE, right? For Full Sense, it doesn't matter. Either they win or lose this, they're going in champs, right? It's just the pressure to GE is on. Well, in the end, they win it. They're going to champs. Both Full Sense and GE going to champs. And then the full roster of Pacific teams going to champs will be Paper X, and then T1. This will be the 4. There were no challengers teams that were able to make it in my simulation because it's really just a hard path for them. That's an example of how everything would work out. So hopefully I was able to explain it, and if not, I will see your comments down below. And as always, thank you all for your time. Leave a like if you enjoyed, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.